I got permission from someone that I know who has shared an experience that she had when she was with a very abusive boyfriend. And she felt comfortable coming forth to share this information with me, although she had not shared it with anyone else. Now, I had talked to her about some of the things that I've experienced over the years, but I've never gone into details. That is until after she shared the story that I'm about to share with you now. She described an event where her extremely violent and abusive boyfriend had come home, wanted sex. She didn't want sex, and he basically proceeded to rape her. She fought him off, and in a heightened sense of fear, terror, and discomfort, she said that she saw her boyfriend turn into an angry lizard. This is exactly what she said. He turned into an angry lizard. And she said she kept rubbing her eyes and screaming, like, because she thought maybe it was her imagination. And she said his face wouldn't turn back to normal. And she just kept saying, I'm telling you, I hope you don't think I'm crazy. She was apologizing for what she was saying, and I think to a degree she was worried about how I would perceive her at that point. And of course I calmed her down because she was starting to relive the moment. I calmed her down, and I told her, no, I don't think you're crazy. You're far from crazy. And she said that basically when this guy brought demons, this is based on her understanding, when this guy brought demons in her house, that was when she decided to leave him. Now, I seized the opportunity to share more of my personal experiences in this regard and to explain things to her in a way that she had not considered. And this is piggybacking on what I'm constantly saying, that what we see are holographic projections. Nothing is solid. Everything has its own unique vibratory frequency. I explained to her that what she saw was either an attachment from one of these lower dimensional parasitic entities who loves to attach themselves to people who are very violent and negative in their actions and thought projections, because such minds are on the same frequency as they are, and they latch onto that as a way of feeding their psychosis or their state of consciousness. And I told her, or you may be seeing a layer of his multi-dimensional self, and it may well be a little of both. When I talk about things having its own vibratory frequency, I had an out-of-body experience in this very room. This is a guest room, and but I sleep in this room more than anything. I just like this room better than any room in the house. And I had an out-of-body experience, and I found myself in the middle of the room, and I'm looking around. Nothing is ever exactly the way you see it from the 3D perspective when you're having an out-of-body experience. Because why? Your frequency, your perception and frequency is shifted. So what you're seeing in this particular vibratory frequency versus what you see from a higher mind or shift in consciousness is going to be different. So when I had that out-of-body experience right here in this room, the layer of paint wasn't there. What I saw was what was beneath this layer of paint, and my computer was not here, and there was some clothing that I had on the floor that was not here. In essence, my higher mind or my shift in consciousness edited out those things. They were still in the same area, it's just that I could not perceive it because the frequency that I had shifted my consciousness into, or shifted my consciousness towards at that point, wasn't one with the frequency that those things were on. The same is true with our physical vessel. I've heard stories where people said that they looked at a relative or someone and saw their face turn into a skeleton. And at that point, same thing. For whatever reason, shift in consciousness, they were only able to perceive the frequency that interacted with that shift, meaning the skeletal structure or the muscle or whatever the case may be. Many of you have said that you're asking the question as to why does everything seem different when I have an out-of-body experience or when I astral project. That is why. You're shifting your consciousness, and when you shift your consciousness, you're on a different frequency, and when you're on a different frequency, what you are perceiving or interacting with is either going to shift out of focus and something else come in, or vice versa. Now, I know that when I say things like nothing is really solid, physicality is an illusion, this entire universe or this entire thing that whatever you want to call reality, whatever, are just holographic projections. It's not far-fetched when you consider your dream state, your lucid dream state. We see buildings, cars, walls, we interact with them. And many of you always say they seem so real. That's because they are real. The difference is you are on a different frequency, vibrating a lot faster, so those particles are going to be a lot less denser than the particles that you're interacting with here. The other difference is that when you're in a dream state, you're in a non-linear state of consciousness, meaning you're not perceiving or interacting with the realm one frame at a time. The interaction is more scattered. So when you're in the dream state, your consciousness is perceiving many frames simultaneously in a non-linear fashion, vibrating a lot faster, which means the particles, the environment is going to be a lot subtler than the interaction that you have when you wake up in this dense vibratory 3D state. So when you have your astral projection experiences and your out-of-body experiences and things seem strange and out of focus, that's because that is the nature of consciousness. When you shift your perception, be it in your mind or by way of your light body or by way of your construct of a dream of your own mind, or by way of interacting on a dimensional level that you are sharing with others who help contribute to that particular experience. Nothing is solid. No such thing as physicality. Physicality is an illusion. Consciousness is fluid like water. Think about what I said. Really think about what I said. You know, everything has its own vibrational signature, and in order to perceive whatever it is, your consciousness has to be on the frequency that shares or resonate with that particular idea, concept, vehicle, form, light, whatever. Know you're loved beyond measure, everybody, and happy travels.